Hey, Steven? Yeah, Mechagodzilla? Can I talk to you for a second? I'm kind of busy right now setting up for a review. I've been in your collection for a while now, and you still haven't seemed to have gotten my teammate. Well, you know, Mechagodzilla, actually, I'm gonna solve your problem today. Really? Yeah, you see, I actually just recently acquired someone you'll actually appreciate. This is a joke, right? Come on, man, the normal one's like $70. You gotta work with me. I guess we'll figure out something.
10 minutes later.
Onward, Titanosaurus, to victory! You've got to be kidding me. Hey, Rangers, welcome to Super Report Reviews. My name's Steve.
My name's Arnes.
And today I'll be going over the Diamond Slug X-plus PX preview exclusive Titanosaurus. If you guys don't know who this kaiju is, he appeared in the film Terra Mechagodzilla, which came out in 1975.
Is that why it says 1975 in a box?
I know, crazy, right? And this is also a reissue of the 30 centimeter that came out in Japan.
Oh, so there's other issues of him out there?
Yeah, which is one of the reasons why this guy got reissued, because those versions actually have stupid price tags on them. Or did, so it's really nice to see another version of this come out, so that I could actually acquire one.
You can afford it, I know.
I know, right? I personally love the film Terra Mechagodzilla. I think it's really cool. It has some of the best fight scenes you get to see in the Showa series. And Titanosaurus is just one of the coolest kaijus out of the Showa run for me, next to Mechagodzilla.
Alright, before we get into this, just looking from this box, Steve, what is that all over his body?
Those are his scales. He's aquatic. It's bumpy.
How are those scales?
They're scales. Just roll with it, man. It's okay.
Science?
Science. And this is the first Titanosaurus to officially grace my collection. Well, sorry. The first figure statue to grace my collection. I have the mini-made Titanosaurus, but he don't count.
I mean, I guess if you want to buy one, might as well go all in out and get the X-plus, right?
Yeah, I just thought it was really cool. And for the, he retails at $180. I picked him up for $150 on Flossy, plus shipping. So now my smaller Bandai Mechagodzilla won't be lonely in this collection, even though I still kind of want to get the smaller version of this guy. Hopefully I'll see one at G-Fest this year.
Do they have SHs or something?
No, there's no SH, even though he's probably one of the most requested figures that they want to do. Because everybody wants a Titanosaurus figure.
So why aren't they doing it?
Because I guess Japan hates this guy. Or at least he's not a very fondly remembered kaiju in Japan. Which is where the toys come from, so understandably they don't want to put him out.
Well, I hope these sales on this guy convince him.
Without further ado, for the packaging, pretty much what you see in a lot of these standard X-Plus boxes for the reissues, where you have a nice image of the figure inside the package. And I just love like the red grain effect that they have going on the front to kind of match the color of the kaiju. You get to see his head on the background, Titanosaurus, 1975. It came out in 2016. And then for the rest of the box, it's pretty much just standard cardboard box with some Lego mumbo jumbo on the back for ages 15 and up, and nothing on the bottom. So let's get this guy opened up out of his cardboard prison. Alright, so now Titanosaurus is opened up out of his cardboard prison. First, there is some assembly required, because you will have to attach the tail onto the body here.
I was gonna say, Steve, he's missing something.
Nah. Who would guess? Alright, so I'm going to attach him to the figure. The vinyl on here is actually a little bit pliable, so you might be able to actually insert it, wiggle it in. But if you guys have an issue with this, I've shown it off in some of the other X-Plus reviews, but you can use a hairdryer or hot water to soften the plastic up so it makes it a little bit pliable, so you can insert it into the back here. Which actually, I'll just go grab a hairdryer real quick just to show you guys. Alright, so grabbing my trusty blue hairdryer, what you're going to want to do is take the hairdryer, not aim it actually at Titanosaurus's butt. You want this to actually stay as hard as it can be. And then,
Steve, I thought you were just about to make a porn here for a second.
So what you're going to want to do is take his tail. You're going to want to heat up this section right here of the access plastic. So you just turn on the hairdryer. Keep it on it for a little bit, just enough until you feel the plastic softening.
Ah!
What? Alright, there we go. So you can see now it's pliable. Turn off the fan. Now while it's super warm, you just start adjusting it accordingly until you can get it inside of the back of Titanosaurus.
Come on, everybody, start cheering Steve on. He can do this.
Believe you guys. There we go. And then once you get it in there, you just kind of line it up with the seam. So right there where you see the paint line up with the section of the underbelly. Look to the other side. It's lined up good. Everything seems flush. You know you got it in there. So now you just let it cool off. You can also stick it in the freezer if you have enough room in order to harden the vinyl on the inside. Alright, so now that we have Titanosaurus fully assembled, this figure is gorgeous.
That thing is freaking amazing.
Yes, this thing is huge, awesome. The only issue with mine is these little things are kind of bending a little bit.
Wait.
Nothing some heat can't fix.
Are they supposed to bend like that, or just...
They're supposed to be mostly straight up like this one, while the other one's like curving off ever so slightly. So bring it for a closer look. Head sculpt looks freaking amazing. Love the painted details on here, look awesome. And I love how Titanosaurus has a lot of different color scheme going on, where he has this very nice dark red for majority of his body, but with some more neon greens, yellows, orange. And some bone coloring here for the little protrusions sticking out of the top of his head. Like, for a basic looking dinosaur, he's very colorful looking.
He sure is. He's pretty.
Especially compared to the other kaijus in the movie, because you have Mechagodzilla, who's primarily like silvers, grays, and blacks, and then you have Godzilla, who's more of like an ash color. So it's nice to see one kaiju showing off a little bit of a flash and finesse, if you know what I'm saying.
Wow, while you were spinning this guy, Steve, you know what I noticed? He actually, down here, he's got nostrils. Look at the details on this thing.
Yes, Titanosaurus actually has nostrils. He also has his little forked tongue on the inside of his mouth. He has all his teeth, which are individually painted, also individually sculpted. His eyes are probably my biggest complaint on this figure, where it's just metallic gold with a little black line for the slash for the eyes. I don't know why. It's just, they look a little bit more like standard vinyl to me, instead of like the high detail you see on a lot of this figure. But it still works really well for Titanosaurus, though. And then for his head, you get this little yellowish green stripe on the top section, which comes into his fin here. His little protrusions on the top of his head. And then Titanosaurus also has little fin ears on the side of his head, which the details on those look really awesome, with this really bright yellow that transitions into an orange getting closer to the skin, which also has the same kind of detail on the back sail fin. Like, even on the sail fin, too, you can see all the vein work on here, too, which shows off very nicely on this figure, even bringing it around. You can see even more of it on the side here. Just really helps to add to the detail. The only thing that's a little odd on the head is you can see a little bit of a seam line right here on the back section of the cheek, which you can see it over here as well. And then it comes up all the way to the top section of the fin.
Is that part of the suit, or is that just like part of the figure?
I think that's just part of the figure, to be honest. Like, the way it was probably sculpted is this was like attached onto the top of it, it appears. You can see under here too, it has like the seam line for underneath the mouth, which you can see under there. But that to me looks a little bit more molded. So this might actually be a part of the suit, because it seems kind of weird for this section to be attached, because you also can see it right here at the base of the neck. Because it hides pretty well though, for the most part. Like under the neck, you don't really see it. Even on this side, it blends in pretty nicely. But it's like, once it hits the fin, it shows off a little bit more.
Whoa, wow.
And then starting to move down to the neck, where you get a lot of those folds that you would have saw in the movie, where the head would have been bobbing up and down and the suit would actually flex with the head, which is why you see a lot of the wrinkling effect on the undersection of the neck, which looks awesome though. Really gives it that more screen accurate vibe. Because some of the other parts too that give it more of a screen accurate appearance is right here, where you see part of the suit actually dipping into the body here. Looks really awesome. The only thing that kind of sucks though is a lot of excess black paint kind of sprung out through here, and it just looks a little bit choppy on mine. But for the most part, that's the only section I really notice it in. Another weird thing too, at least on an X-plus for me, is arm moves, which I would not call this an articulated joint. It's just for the vinyl, that's where they attach the arms onto it.
Yeah.
But they do shimmy just a little bit, but I would be a little bit worried on that, because you don't want to rub the paint job on this too much, because you might cause some damage. But I just wanted something I wanted to point out, because it's a little odd for an X-plus, at least for me, because I have officially none that have any sort of arm articulation.
Yeah, I was just looking at them. None of them actually do.
Yeah, because again, it's not really articulation, but it's just usually that's glued in or fixed or something. Well, this guy, it's a little bit posable.
Hey, maybe you got the special one, Steve.
The only articulated Titanosaurus. But the arm detail looks awesome too, where you see a lot of the same folds for the suit. Hands look really good. Really like the gloss black here for the scaling. It has more of that yellowish neon green paint job. Even on the undersection of the hand, where you get the skin tone.
Oh, that looks fantastic right there.
It looks awesome. You even see like a little bit of the creasing and stuff for the suit. It looks really great. Front section of the body is done in a skin color tone, where you can even see some of the cracks here for the veins on the side of his chest. Look really great. Really help to add to the detail of the suit. I was like, too, because you can move the arm just a little bit to show more of the detail. It's kind of helpful.
I wonder if everybody's like that, or is it just like yours, actually?
I think this is a thing. I don't know if it's like that on the standard version, like the first release, but on the Diamond reissues, I imagine that's a thing. I'd have to watch like Rich Udisso's review to really know. And then for the body here too, again, you have some gloss black here for the raised scales, some yellowish neon green paint jobs spread out throughout the course of the red paint. And then for sails, you can see a lot of the veins on the inside of the sails as well, which transitions from the yellow into the blood red orange color. You can see a little bit better on this side though. The other thing is mine kind of bends in a little bit, which I might have liked to have seen that maybe a little bit straighter. But again, it really helps to give it that more suit accurateness, because in the film you see the sail move side to side and all over the freaking place. So I like seeing it on the figure though. But personally, maybe something a little bit straighter would have worked for me. And then for Titanosaurus' legs, overall pretty thin for a kaiju. Like if you compare it to like Godzilla's legs, who are like mostly always gigantic.
Yeah.
They just kind of start bulky and then slim down once you get to the base of the feet. Which Titanosaurus has 3 toes, both feet. Has some detail here for the undersection of the pads with some copyright information. Which I like too. On this side, it's actually flat for where they put the information. On this side actually has detail. Also a good part here too is you can see a lot of the mold here for the undersection of the tail.
Doesn't this part look like it's dirty, like it was dragged on the ground or something like that?
Yeah, which again gives it that more suit accurate feel, because this part would have been worn down for the tail to be rubbing against the ground as he's walking. So it's really cool to see the paint job kind of transition and show that.
Yet again, X-plus going all out.
Yeah, and then his little gimmick here, well not really a gimmick, but for the kaiju in the movie, you have his tail, which in the film his tail would actually open up to reveal these little sails, and he would use those to make hurricane winds, so you just flap them back and forth.
It still makes no sense to me from the movie.
Oh, it's awesome though. And I'm glad to see it on the figure here too, where they could have had it enclosed, but I do like this because it gives it a little bit more flash, because again, more colors the better. And then for the tail, you don't see any veins on the inside of the sails, which is a little odd, especially when you see them on the rest of them. You think it would have had the same kind of details on the tail as well, with some more folding here for the tail that you would have saw in the suit. Also want to point out too, because you can see it bends in right here, and on this side of the body, you can see that it's raised throughout the entire section over here. So it's like the suit kind of shifted a little bit.
Which works out.
Yeah, it still really helps to add to the details on. And again, I just love these little scales, like Arnes likes to call the boils.
Boils, man.
Where not all of them are this gloss black color, where you can see some of the greens kind of spread out on some of these. And it helps to give it a lot of detail, and each of these are individually sculpted too, so it's not like the exact same circle going out throughout the entire figure. And first quick comparison here, we have the Diamond Reissue X-plus 30cm Titanosaurus next to some other reissue figures, with the 30cm Godzilla 1962 and the 1955 Anguirus. And here is with the X-plus 30cm reissue Godzilla 1955 and the Marmot Godzilla 2000. And here is with some actual Japanese X-pluses with the 25cm Destroyer and 25cm Burning Godzilla, which is sad that the 25cm Destroyer actually outsizes the 30cm Titanosaurus. And here's some other Mechagodzillas in my collection with the Bandai Creation Showa Mechagodzilla and the Tokyo Vinyl Mechagodzilla. And here's some Diamond Select Banks with the Mechagodzilla and Jet Jaguar Bank. And because only one of them will really fit on the screen, here he is with the NECA 18-inch Gypsy Danger from Pacific Rim. So for the X-plus 30cm Titanosaurus, this thing is awesome, just like all other X-pluses that we've had. The detail on it's great. It's a very awesome representation of the suit from the film. And if you guys love Titanosaurus, this thing needs to be in your collection.
I love every single detail they put into this, like from the folds on his neck to his nostrils. Just everything is freaking amazing about this guy. Like, I can't believe they went this much all in out on it, you know?
Yeah, so now seeing this really just makes me want an SH Monstars Titanosaurus so I can actually play with it and have all the gimmicks. But until that day comes, the X-plus Titanosaurus will definitely be working for me. But what do you guys think? Do you guys have any 30cm Titanosaurus in your collection? What kaiju would you like to see out of the X-plus line? Or is Bandai just more your thing? Please let us know in the comments. We'll look closer picture of this guy on Facebook. You want to click the link in the description below. And help us defeat those kaiju by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.